There were some encouraging performances on day one out at the Paralympic Games, and of course Team South Africa will continue to compete there. Joining us now to talk about what's happening out at the Paris Olympic Games is Leon Fleiser. He is the head of high performance out at Team South Africa. Leon, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Sports on Morning Live.
Thanks, V. Good morning to you too.
Leon, I just want to start first up and just say we saw some of the athletes out competing yesterday. What do you make of what we saw from day one? I mean, you have a Nathan who had his personal best out there, and of course, just some of the other athletes as well. What do you make of what we saw yesterday?
I think the two highlights was obviously Nathan doing his PB, making a final in his first games. And then we had Karabo in the boccia that took on the world #1. First time he's ever been at this level. And led for quite a bit of the game and just lost at the end, got pipped at the post, which must be a massive highlight, especially that both of them are on our 2028 program for LA.
And of course, I think this is something that you've echoed from the onset, that for some of the athletes, you're sending them through to the Paralympic Games, but really it's just to somewhat set the tone for them in terms of expectations for 2028, but that is your main focus. So they really have done well and are sort of, for lack of a better word, shooting the lights out.
Absolutely. You know, I had a chat with Nathan after his heat. Super stoked that he took 1.2 seconds off his PB. You know, went into the final 6. It was a really tough race as well. But just think where he's come from in the last 2 years and where he is now. You know, the boy's got his head on right. He's really trains hard. He's looking good. He's super fit. So just imagine a 4-year funding cycle for him and for a Karabo that, you know, came here. This is the biggest event they've ever been to. They've qualified through the African continent, and to hit world #1 first game and go head to head with him and was not embarrassed at all, was right there and just lost.
And it also does just seem to be in the right headspace as well. I want us to move on in terms of the action today. It's another full day of action for Team South Africa. We've got Khutatso Munchane as well as Donald Rampadi out in doubles action. What are our expectations there in terms of that? We know how focused KG has been throughout this year preparing for these Paralympic Games, and we say the same as well for Donald.
Absolutely. So Donald and Lucas are up at 12 o'clock in the doubles, and KG as well, Mariska. They got a really tough draw, I must admit. When I saw it, it was like, wow, these guys are going to have to play out their teeth to get there. We've also got Cheryl in the finals tonight, the 200-meter finals. It's a straight final. There were no heats. So hopefully that also goes well. And I must just say the mood in the camp as well over here is absolutely amazing, the way the athletes are supporting each other. You know, it's a very special place to be in a village with the Paralympians. You know, as we always say, every Paralympian's got a story, and they just want to support each other. We had Shaun Anderson that shot in, was in 9th place yesterday for seeding. He goes in on Sunday on a direct shootout against #8. If he gets to that, he gets to quarterfinals, so hopefully that also goes well. But yeah, we've just started. Day 1 was yesterday, day 2 today, and let's just hope things get better from here on in, and just want to thank South Africa for the support.
I want to touch a little bit more on Shaun Anderson, because this is a man whose story is so inspirational. What does he bring outside of competition in terms of just Team SA and encouraging the other Paralympic athletes that are there out in Paris at the Village?
Oh, Shaun's larger than life. Shaun just brings the cheers. Shaun brings the jokes. Shaun is always front and center, making sure everyone's in a good mood. He's a top guy. Obviously gone through a lot of tragedy in his life, and just come through it smiling, you know, and you know, you see Shaun every day, and Shaun is just ready to go and just wants to get on the field of play and do the best he can. For South Africa, he's also very committed to development of the sport of archery and para-archery in South Africa, running the Tux Club. So he's just an amazing human being, and yeah, just always front and center, and the guy that's got the team going and sort of the cheerleader of the team, almost like a patience in the management. Shaun's like that with the athletes.
Looking forward to that. And I mean, we speak about what we're expecting, and I know for Shaun, he says he's just trying to focus on making it to Sunday's final. Let's talk about Jaco Smit, because we also know he's in round 1 today out in the T12 100 meters. What are our expectations there when we look at him and how he managed to make it to the Paris?
Sure. So that's, I think the T12 100 meters is the toughest race at the Paralympics. It's got the most heats, so really tough to get through. Remember, they run in 4 lanes only, not in 8 lanes because of their visual impairment. So really tough to get through the final. He did make the final in the World Champs 2 years ago. So we hope he's going to repeat that. He has been funded. He has been given the opportunity to go quite a few places to prepare. He's looking big and strong, looking very fit. So, yeah, we're just holding our thumbs that he goes out there and does a stellar performance.
And finally, as I wrap up with you, Leon, it wouldn't be an interview with me if I didn't put you on the spot. Coming into the Paralympic Games, in terms of the medal expectations, what are we looking at?
We will get medals.
We definitely will get medals. Do you want to tell us where those medals may be coming from?
We've got a very powerful athletics team. We got super fit in the cycling. We're hoping something from the wheelchair tennis, and hopefully some, with para-swimming we can sneak some. I just remember 5 of the medals we got in Tokyo, those 2 people aren't here, with Anrune retiring and Intando having a bad car accident. So 5 out of the 7 are off the table. So, but we still got an extremely powerful athletics team here, and they'll do well. Cycling, tennis, and swimming. So we'll have medals. You always put me on the spot, and I won't predict how many.
Leon, thank you so much for your time this morning, and good luck to you as well as the rest of Team South Africa out at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. That is Leon Fleiser. He is the GM of High Performance for Team South Africa out at Sascoc.